In my opinion, the best plugins do three things. They're unique, they inspire creativity, and they're easy to use. The plugin we're talking about today does all three of those things, hands down. We're talking about the VULF Compressor by Goodhertz and one of my favorite bands, Vulfpeck. What's up, everybody? Lennon here with soundandpatternsmusic.com. I want to say thanks so much, as usual, for being here. Yeah, so a thing happened. I had a run-in with a beard trimmer this morning that didn't go well. So you can see this happened. I mean, maybe you guys like the overgrown child look. Please let me know in the comments below. But if you've never been here before, you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, you can watch any of my other videos and see for yourself. I want to say thanks a lot for being here, whether you've been here before or not. This channel exists to help you make better music and to make that music a larger part of your income. Today I'm going over the nuts and bolts of the VULF compressor. This compressor is amazing. It sounds super good, and it's actually one of a few merch items that are sort of out of the ordinary for this band Vulfpeck. This is a collaboration between them and Goodhertz. They've also done a font type and a bunch of interesting stuff. So if you watch any of my music business videos, you'll know that I have a real affinity for great branding and marketing, and I think Vulfpeck has done an amazing job of just being left of center completely and making it work for them. Please check them out if you don't know about them yet. But I can't find anything else that sounds like this compressor when it's in use. We're gonna go into it today and talk about just the basics of the coloring that you can do. So let's head on over to the computer. All right, so this is gonna be a quick and dirty overview of this plugin. I just want to kind of give you the nuts and bolts. All right, so I've got it opened up here, and this is in its default settings. You have your input gain, you have your compression amount, you have your wow and flutter amount, you have your lo-fi amount, and you have your output gain. And then within this, you have a master mix slider, which is awesome. This just allows you to be able to dial in and out however much of this you want, and I love this. And this is obviously applicable on all these settings. So compression being just your typical compressor, so when you run it through it, it's going to squish the bedoozle out of this thing. And your wow and flutter amount is varying, so it feels like an old record, like it's got this kind of classic vibe to it. So you'll see when we get into it. And then your lo-fi amount is more of like a crunch, so you can get like an analog thing going on if you want to. And then you open it up here, and this is the advanced settings. Now this is all the new stuff that they've added. So you can now adjust your compressor attack and release times. You also have your flutter mix. You can choose which speed you want your wow and flutter to be. So just like a vinyl, you can do a 33.3, 45, or 78. You can have your lo-fi options here be analog, 1990s digital, 1980s digital. Super cool. And then you have your sidechain level or external, and you can kind of slide that over to decide how much of the sidechain you want to add to whatever it is you're connecting it to. All right, the first thing we're going to look at are the drums. It's got some really great presets, and for drums I like to use things like the old school crunch, and I don't necessarily use it directly on the drums. I might use it as a sidechain compressor, which is super cool. That's cool. That's really gnarly. Great, so let's listen to it on the piano here. This is no compressor at all. And we'll add it in here. And let's go ahead and throw some of this wow on the piano. Change the speed here. Super cool. All right, let's take a listen to the vocal here.
When you look my way,
Add the compressor.
when you look my way, when you look my way,
For this, I like, for instance, the old school crunch.
when you look my way,
And then this mono flange is cool for vocal.
when you look my way, when you look,
Oh, and check this.
when you look my way,
Oh yeah, that's
when
awesome.
you look my way.
Sounds so good. So let's take a look at this now on a synth. All right, so I've got this routed through a send and then going in to the compressor. And so what you're hearing here, that side chain, is actually this loop. That's what's triggering the side chain. We'll start with just the synth. Just a solid chord all the way through, and then I've got the side chain routed in. We're gonna start with it all the way down. And so the change in sound is actually just because the compressor's all the way up. I got a ton of lo-fi on here. So you're gonna get a lot of color here out of that. So here's the drum loop, you can hear it. I can adjust my attack and release time. Yeah, super cool stuff. Again, I'm not gonna go into all the great details. So yeah, that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. I talked about at the top 3 reasons why I think the best plugins are what they are. I think they're unique, I think they're easy to use, and I think they really inspire creativity. And I just want to say real quick why I think the VULF compressor meets all 3 of those. As far as uniqueness is concerned, I really can't find another plugin that colors the audio in this way. And I really, really love that about it. Now, I've been using the basic version of this plugin for a while now, and there's really only 4 settings to that version. So I love that they've now released a more advanced option, but the ease of use really is no question, because if you want to just use the basics of it, those 4 settings are super simple, you know? And as far as inspiring creativity goes, this plugin really does it for me because it's taken away the visual aesthetics that I'm used to on other compressors where, you know, I start to get a little bit uneasy if I see things getting too squash. You know, this just allows me to use my ears and really color things until it, you know, feels like it's my taste. And I think that's such a fun way to work because I see this, it's more than a compressor, you know, this really is something special. And that's why I think this specific plugin inspires creativity for me personally. Again, I really appreciate you guys being here. If you dig this content, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.